Hello, good day. So, who's moderating today?
Good morning, Edie. That
Good
would be
day.
me, Mariam.
Miriam, you're moderating. Okay, who are the other people with their hands up?
Okay, so the two of them are we have Andov Sebastian, Idris Kende, and the other person that will be sharing the slide that's Mobolaji Okolawo.
The Mobalaji's hand is not up. How do I know who he is?
It is not.
People should stop making these errors. These errors are becoming too much. Talia,
Yes, Siri, good evening, Eddie.
are you positioned to share my slides? Yes or no?
No, Eddie, my system is off.
Edie, Mobolaji is already a co-host.
Okay, I think I added him when I found him when. Okay, so Miriam, you're moderating, right?
Yes, Edie.
Okay, then let's do this.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to class. The class starts in 5 minutes, so do well to inform your colleagues, your party mates, that the class is starting in 5 minutes. We have a very low number now, so do inform them, party chairman, party executive, or anybody on the call. Inform your party members to join, and our facilitator is already in class. Thank you. All right, we're just a minute away from class, and I'd like to welcome you all once again. It's the fourth week of literacy, and I hope that it's been educative because I know it should have been educative by now. To everybody, we should have gained a lot of things so far from the class. So I'm going to be taking the citation into the 1 minute of the class so that we'll not waste most of our time. You already know who our facilitator is, Mr. Kunle Lawal, and he's going to be taking us on the Electoral Act. So do well to listen to the citation. Thank you very much. And also remind your members to please join the call and input their name in the chat box for their attendance. Kunle Lawal is a prominent Nigerian political figure and executive director of Electoral College Nigeria, where he leads the charge for political literacy, civic engagement, and democratic accountability. Under his leadership, the Electoral College has grown into a nationally respected platform, educating thousands of Nigerians on governance, elections, and citizen responsibility while strengthening democracy from the grassroots up. A tireless advocate for informed democracy, Kunle's work at the Electoral College includes designing over 27 comprehensive political education modules, pioneering candidates' debates to curb off jurisdiction promises, and training over 14,000 citizens across Nigeria. His efforts are redefining how young Nigerians understand and participate in politics. Formerly National Publicity Secretary of COA Party, he championed intra-party democracy and innovative membership systems. As a senatorial candidate with the Alliance for New Nigeria 2017 to 2019, Kule developed 49 draft bills showcasing a bold vision for legislative reform. He's also the author of The Candidate, a reflective guide for aspiring leaders, and formerly led Word Charts Nigeria, using technology to connect citizens with political processes. Kunle Lawal's work continues to inspire a new generation of informed, active citizens, positioning him as one of the leading voices for democratic renewal in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, our facilitator for today, Mr. Kunle Lawal.
Good day,
Over to you.
everyone. Good day, everyone. Pleasure to have you all in class this weekend. I've noticed that it's 5 o'clock. I still have to send reminders to everybody. Charlie, are you there? Alia, SSC, or Lisa?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, Edie.
Okay, well done. Where's your deputy? Okay,
I
so
think network here.
okay, so let's note, I will not be tolerating nonsense again from this lateness from this cohort. So as of now, I want admin to note that as at 5 o'clock, take registration of those that were in class. Those that were not in class, subtract 1 attendance point, and from their parties, subtract 1 point each from every party. I will be getting more stern with time, and I will be dealing directly with ESCOs directly because ESCOs are responsible for attendance. I will start disinfecting this thing where we waste quite a lot of resources ensuring you come to class. The class is free. I don't know what it takes for us to impart knowledge. I don't understand. And Nigerians wonder why Nigeria is the same way it is. So it's very funny. You talk about changing Nigeria, you love being called honorable or whatever title you call yourself, young vision or whatever. And you cannot even keep up with the class that is free, that only demands 2 hours from your time during the weekends. Disappointing, it's appalling, and it's frustrating. Let me make this clear and let me reiterate this. Everybody within the college knows that I am ready to graduate one person. If that's the person that's deserving of being an associate of the Electoral College. So if you think that if you deserve to fail, I will, whether you know me or not, I will fail you. Like, this is serious business. Our work is serious. You think it's something you just come and fiddle over, I will not be tolerating it. I know Nigerians give more time to if this was a class on makeup or something, you put in more effort. Maybe because you are here free, you do not understand the amounts it takes to put together a class like this. So I'll make it very clear. So SSA, please ensure the time that if anybody was not in class out of 5, they were taking out 1 attendance point from everybody. We're taking out 1 point from parties. With effect from tomorrow, I'll be taking off schools. I won't even deal with members directly. I'll take out schools attendance points immediately. I think we need to understand the need that this is serious conversations and for what we're choosing to do here. And I will not be tolerating it. I'm making it very clear. I will not be tolerating it. I'd rather one person listens to me attentively. We don't need 3 million people to change Nigeria. What we need to change Nigeria is just a few people that understand the way the system works. I'm making this clear and I'm reiterating it clearly. And I hope that the party that has least attendance, because I want the attendance for this, if the party that has the least, I don't like promises. Whoever wrote to promise to work, I don't care about promises. If the party that ends up being the least is PDP, so help them God. I'm serious. So help them God. And I know why I'm saying it, because I will act with the full powers that are available to me. So good day, everyone. SSA, who is sharing my slides today? I heard it's Mobolaji or something. And where is the person?
Yeah, she's here. She's on here.
You said?
She lost her
She's
co-host
active.
function, but Sebastian is doing it already.
She lost what?
She lost her co-host function, but Sebastian is doing that already for her.
How did she lose her course functions? Once it's given, you can't lose it except you go out.
Her network was bad, so she was logged out of the call.
Lisa,
ED, I'm not sure her network is stable. She was here some minutes ago and she's out. Okay, she's
Lisa,
back. She's
Lisa,
back.
Lisa,
That's all.
what's going on?
Let me take over the sharing of the slide.
What is going on, Lisa? Australia there?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
The
yeah.
slide is up already.
That's not how the slides look. They are not magazine. Just please, when I ask the question, don't give me an answer that's irrelevant to the question I'm asking. So today, everyone will start with the Electoral Act. So basically, I know that most people have had questions. We're not going to cover the entire, too long for us to engage in. We have to remember that the Electoral Act is law. So we must follow it to its latter. So we're going to talk about changes that have been made in the Electoral Act. That's where we're going to come from. And then, you have the Electoral Act. You always have access to team leads or myself. We can always come back and have these conversations. It's too large. We're also going to do the Constitution. We're going to do it the same way. You cannot singularly pick, something and then expect to be able to cover it in 2 hours because it's massive. So today, ladies and gentlemen, the Electoral Act. Could I have the next slide, please? Okay. So we'll start the basic introduction of the Electoral Act. We all know that the Electoral Act is the basic guideline for the law enacting the way elections, political parties, and guidelines are conducted for elections in Act. So Section 1 covers, of course, the Independent Electoral Commission shall be responsible for organizing, undertaking, and supervising all elections. Now, this contradiction will first confuse you because in the Electoral Act, it's clearly stated that the Independent Electoral Commission shall be responsible for organizing, undertaking, and supervising all elections. Now, why do I mention this in this conversation? The real question is, why exactly do I mention this? And it's good to mention at this point that you have your local government elections. Now, is somebody going to tell me where states get their powers to conduct local government elections? Anybody can raise up their hand and have this conversation. Is anyone's hands raised?
Yes, I've asked them to unmute. Promise.
Thank you.
Let's say from Plateau State, we have the
Hello?
Can you hear me, sir?
Please, you need to talk up. I can't hear you. That's okay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
I feel like give an example with Plateau State. So I feel the Plateau State Independent Electoral Commission, they have the power to change or organize the election.
Okay, so it's good. I get what you're saying, but it's hard for you to. The point is, who gave them the power? I know PLASEC, if I'm right. That's Plateau State Electoral Commission, right?
Yes.
PLASEC. Who gave them the power?
Can I say the state government?
Does the state government have the power to give that power? Because
It should be
now
the-
we're coming back to the Electoral Act. This is the guide of all elections in Nigeria. And Section 1 clearly states, and you can check it yourself, it's there, that the Independent National Electoral Commission shall be responsible for organizing, undertaking, and supervising all the elections in Nigeria.
It should be INEC then.
Yes, so that is an anomaly. I just wanted to point it out. It's an anomaly in our operations, and we've gone about it. I think it cropped up when sometime during the Obasanjo time, some state governors, just started conducting their own elections, and I don't even know how that took over, and it's become the mainstay of things that are going on. So it's an anomaly, and as we have seen, clearly unconstitutional. And I'm sure many of you did not know that. That is because that's the norm. So the problem in Nigeria hasn't been that we do not have laws. The problem in Nigeria has been that laws that we have are not implemented or are not even known. So the people can't even argue that you don't have such jurisdictions. So go to Section 2. Section 2, INEC shall not be subject to the direction or control of any authority or person. INEC shall not be subject to the control. Okay, if we have the situation, then why in God's name does the president appoint the INEC chairman? That's some subject of control. If you invested that power of appointing the INEC chairman into the National Assembly fully, National Assembly is the basic representation of people in Nigeria. It will not be subject to one man's decision. But now you are having that problem, and you're going to have to ask yourself how that happened. Section 4 goes on to say the Commission may issue regulations, guidelines, and manuals for the purpose of giving effect to the provisions of this Act, meaning which is where INEC derives its power to have the INEC guidelines on how elections should be done. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so on voter registration, we have section 9.1. Now, I'm just picking points of within the Electoral Act. Section 9.1 states, the commission shall compile, maintain, and update on a continuous basis a national register of voters. The only time which is allowed legally for INEC not to register voters is pending an election period. So when it stops, it's supposed to continue. But INEC seems to have a hiatus, or whether INEC goes into a state of hibernation by choice, which isn't law. The law here, section 9.1, commission shall compile, maintain, and update on a continuous basis. It is clear. No ambiguity about it. A national register of voters. Section 12.1 goes on to say, a person shall be qualified to register as a voter if they are a citizen of Nigeria and have attained 18 years and are of sound mind. Keynote, sound mind. When last was anyway, let's not talk about it. Let's just emphasize sign more. Section 54.1 goes on to say, the commission shall ensure that persons with disabilities are assisted in polling units. That's section 54.1, meaning people living with disabilities cannot be disenfranchised in the process. Next slide, please. Thank you. So election timelines were also adjusted. Section 28.1, INEC shall not later than 360 days before the day of appointed election publish a notice of election. Section 29.1 goes on to say, every political party shall not later than 180 days before the election submit to the commission the list of its candidates, not later than 180 days. Okay, so right now, things can still go on. 180 days from January will be about, that's 180 days is 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. That's 6 months. So very soon, the time for changing candidates or mentioning candidates will elapse. I think it's in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So next slide, please. Thank you. Now, political party primaries. Section 84.1 clearly states that a political party seeking to nominate candidates, so we need to correct this, this was written before, I'll use my head to say, a political party seeking to nominate candidates shall hold direct and consensus primaries for its aspirants. Indirect is no more part of the law, was changed in the Electoral Act of 2026. Then section 84.2 clearly states that the procedure for the nomination of candidates shall be direct or consensus. Now, I want to ask a very good question. Lisa, are you there?
Yes, it is.
Which party was it that, even though I'd mentioned show the process, which party didn't write it and I gave -5?
It was NDC.
No, it wasn't NDC. This particular assignment wasn't NDC. NDC scored 8, if I'm right.
Okay, let me confirm.
That was ADC.
ADC. So when they say show the process in a primaries, your process of primaries, what do people think I'm talking about? You think it's about how you elected on WhatsApp, or you write, I had the guidelines?
NDC.
Who is saying they can't hear me very well? Am I clear?
I think that was when the guy was answering the question about the other time.
Okay. So and I on the next slide, but I want to talk about it. So ADC had the brilliance, and for everybody that is here as part of the ADC, you should hold whoever did your assignment liable, because the reason you failed. The first question, show your process. It was what I wanted you to tell me. Is it direct? Is it consensus? You must tell me. But you guys didn't. Instead, want to do WhatsApp, show WhatsApp screenshots. This is not a class. When they ask you a question, you answer the question. So ADC, is it that you've been missing in the college? I failed you guys earlier in the transitional committee assignments on issues like this. And nobody wanted to pay attention. So now we'll go to 47.2, which is use of technology, parts of the Electoral Act, which is, so a person intending to vote shall be verified to be the same person on the register of voters by the use of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS. Now, section 65, the presiding officer shall transfer results, including the total number of accredited voters from the polling unit directly to the collation system. Section 66. So let's go back. 2023 elections. So this existed, 65. But now, contradicting in INEC's guidelines is that INEC gave itself the power to choose. Remember that earlier, it gives INEC the ability to organize and supervise elections. Note that. So in 2023, INEC promised Nigerians that they were going to transmit electronically. And then when they did it, instead of INEC to acknowledge the loss, apologize to the Nigerian people, they fell back to one of their guidelines, which states they can choose the mode of transmission, which is actually true. But it's now contradictory because this is law and INEC guidelines are just, but anyway, the law gives INEC the power to have the guidelines. So indirectly, INEC guidelines indirectly have become law. So Section 66, the polling unit results shall be transmitted in the manner prescribed by the Commission. This is the problem. Now, don't go too fast to section 92.1. No, you can move over, but I'm just saying don't go too fast next time. So section 92.1, no political campaign shall be tainted with abusive language or likely to injure religious, ethnic, or sectional feelings. Bayo Oyoniga, Daniel Buala, Festus Keyamo, I'm pointing culprits of 2023. Reno Omokri, Kenneth Okonkwo, but then in Labour Party, so we're going to see his injurious mouth in ADC now. Kenneth Okonkwo, and a host of others, essays, PAs, 7 people in government broke these rules. Broke 92.1. Section 94.1, campaigns shall commence 150 days before polling and end 24 hours prior to the election day. Section 97 goes on to say no candidate or party shall campaign based on religion, tribe, or sexual reason. Emile Con. And what was the other one? An Igbo person has never been president. I'll leave that thought there. So 85.1, section 85.1, every political party shall give the commission at least 21 days notice of any convention, congress, conference, or meeting. Section 88.2, the maximum election expenses. I need to update this. Please, you guys remind me. I need to update this. The maximum election expenses to be incurred by the presidential candidate shall not exceed 10 billion naira. Right now, it is 10 billion naira. And I can assure you, as of now, we've calculated but not yet, but most presidential candidates, and you know who, the strong parties, have already gone close to this. Now, this is times on TV, conversations on TV, flights. I'll give you an example. Now, if, and this is clear, if the president of the United States or the president of Ghana or the president of Rwanda or the president of South Africa was going to use the jet, that's the Air Force One, or in our case, Eagle One, to go on a campaign trail, his campaign is supposed to pay for that jet. It's not supposed to fly. The jet is not for campaigns, it's for use of the office of the president. But in Nigeria, anything goes. So we'll get to that point. We use state resources to enforce a campaign. How can the campaign ever be equal or be balanced? Those in power will continue to trump those in opposition. So section 89.1. Wait now. Section 89.1. Every political party shall submit to the commission a statement of their election expenses. Has any party ever done that? Even the great Gregory said he was going to reveal his election expense. We are still waiting since 2023. The other usual suspects, they didn't do it. Gregory said he was going to do it. I hope people know who Gregory is. Do people know who Gregory is in the college? Do you guys know who Gregory is? People don't know who Gregory
No,
is.
no, sir.
How will you not know who Gregory is?
Mr. Peter
Peter
Obi.
Obi. Is Peter Obi?
Peter Gregory Obi. Now that's his name. So sometimes I don't call people by name. I just,
Yeah, Mr.
talk
Peter
about
Obi.
it.
Yeah.
So section 47.2, conduct of elections. Now, voting of an election shall be in accordance with the procedure determined by the commission. Again. Section 55.2, voting shall be open secret ballot. For those that used to show their ballots to their people to collect 5K. You are seeing that 52.2. Now, 62.1. The commission shall compile and maintain a register of election results for each election. I can tell you that INEC does not have full register for 2023. Does anybody know something that INEC does not even have? The 2011 elections, INEC does not, a lot of results there are mistaken. But it's always interesting as usual. So electoral offenses. Let's go over this. Section 117. A person who votes or attempts to vote more than once commits an offense. Section 119. Any person who forges a voter's card or election document commits an offense. Section 121. A person who corruptly gives or receives money or gifts to influence voting commits an offense, meaning the giver and the takee, or which way is it? The giver and the taker. Next one. The givee and the takee are both guilty of section 121. So next slide. Now, electoral disputes. Section 132, subsection 7. Now, an election petition shall be filed within 21 days after the date of the declaration of results. Section 132.8. The tribunal shall deliver judgment in writing within 180 days from the date of filing the petition. Section 133. An appeal arising from the decision of an election tribunal shall be heard and disposed of in 60 days. That's how it's supposed to work. Slow, but so Nigeria, there are laws that we have. Then we go outside and build a culture of what doesn't exist. Could I have next slide, please? Thank you. Hello, next slide, please. So key reforms in 2022. Okay, so those were key reforms, but they're still available. So BVC now, sorry, I didn't say PVC. PVC was in my mouth. BVAS now fully recognized section 47.2. You can check that. You can jot this down. You guys have these notes now, so we don't really need to flog on this. Electronic transmission of results legalized. That's section 65 to 6. Improved INEC independence, section 1 to 2. And transparent and monitored party primaries, section 84. And improved provisions for voter inclusion and accessibility, section 55, subsection 1. You can move on. So the challenges and recommendations. So first, the challenges. How many of you have heard or how many of you have actually opened the Electoral Act? Well, let's be honest here. If you say you've opened it, I'll ask you a question. I don't think you guys want to go that way. Has anybody opened it here? Because if you say you've opened it, I'll ask you a question. I'll be free to ask you a question. Never. Thank you. I like honesty. Let's just be honest. Let's not lie to ourselves. Now, weak enforcement of offenses. Now there are multiple offenses. Let me surprise you guys and tell you guys something that will make you laugh. So I think section 92(1), if I'm right, what's 92(1) or 92 between 92 subsection 1 to 92 subsection 3. It is against electoral law to use state resources, which includes Iguano, our jet. Noto, which includes Iguano, our jet. State resources or state media to the advantage of any candidate, which includes governors' cars. State resources include PAs, SAs, commissioners, ministers. In 2023, was a minister not a deputy campaign spokesman? Festus, Uncle F. Yeah, he was. State resources. Anybody uses state resources. Next challenge will be political interference. Now, the incumbent party has always interfered. PDP should not come and talk nonsense here. They were worse. No, already worse. And they're in the same WhatsApp group. So it's just been, there's a lot of interference on the incumbent. There's a lot of don't know. It's you can't have a democracy if you do not have inclusion, you do not have participation, you do not have, allowing people make their choices. Now, our recommendation mostly will cover civic education using simplified formats. Now, I'm sure you guys walk through these things. Just because I picked out the juicy part of the Electoral Act, you guys kind of enjoyed it. Imagine if we're having to read subsection 1, subsection 2, you will not enjoy this class. You would not even have wanted to be in this class. But the point of this class is to encourage you to go and read the Electoral Act. It's encouragement. Do you understand? It's not as complicated as you think. And it's the Electoral Act is even marked. So if you want to check, this one, it will show you where it is, this one where it is, you can always read it up. It's so hard. I know you guys would rather read Nedu Okolo's warning to Regina, or you guys would rather hear from VDM how the Electoral Act is. Someone who has no idea. I can even tell you, people even take Electoral Act advice from Portable, but available to you. Entertainment will not be the death of Nigerians. Civic education that we're even offering you this free. How many of you are in class? How many? Let me check. In a class of about 300, you people are only accounting for let's say admin are 83. You guys are only about 72. And we want a better country. And my Hausa people will say, Allah ya isa. Prosecution of offenders. We're even begging you to come to class to learn. Good. Anyway, prosecution of so we also have a lot of problems. I'll give you, especially with campaign financing, where we now have presidents don't spend up to 10 billion, governors don't spend up to 2 billion, senators are to spend up to 250 million, if I'm right, 250 million or 200 million. House of Reps is not spend up to 150 million. Local government chairman is not supposed to spend up to 50 million. But these are not the case. AMAC chairman is not supposed to spend up to 50 million. But these are not the case. And then councillors, I think, are 25 million. But these are not the case. We, even as Nigerians, do not even know their campaign finance limits. And I think we don't know not only because we don't care, but because we enjoy the largesse. So I'll just pick names from across so that it will not be like I'm picking on anybody. Let's just say Achibong now. Achibong will say, governor is about to give me contract to supply Afang at all the rallies. Achibong will write Afang that he used to do in his restaurant, let's say 2K5 with goat meat 3K. With goat meat and palm wine of 10 liters, 4-5. Don't ask me how I know how they used to sell this thing in Akwa Ibom. People should not ask me that kind of question. Go 5. You will now see governor is running. You will now charge 6K. Because anyhow, Kaite has been asking him to marry her. So Archibong will now go ahead and charge that kind of amount. And then the governor ex spending on rallies, where he's limited to 2 billion on just rallies alone across the state, providing Afang and Powder Dam. He has spent 1 point something billion. We have not talked about the cars. We have not talked about. It's in Afang right now. So Archibong, I love Afang, but I will never eat Afang if I'm not in the South South. My best soup in Akwa Ibom is actually Otong. Otong is great. That dry fish inside and etc. Please, okay, let's not talk about that. So let's not talk about food. So back to what I was saying. So that's Archibong. Now, as regards, let's see whose name I'm going to pick on now. Ayuba Timothy. Ayuba now. You will just hear, we are the ones providing cars for the campaign. Land Cruiser that I used to hire 80K a day if he's lucky, if you see somebody to hire the car. Because governors say they want to use it for campaign, you will put it out at 300K a day and they will pay. So we are all guilty of this corruption. I gone to Ayuba, I didn't pick someone else. Let me pick somebody from the east. Hillary Tukudi. Hillary now is on zone. Soludo will say, for us to run this campaign, we're supporting President Tinubu at the top, but we're supporting Abga at the bottom. So I need you to make a poster that is Abga APC. Or Hillary will now go and think, you come up with some colors that, fit the chicken and the umbrella. In short, you just put an umbrella on top of the chicken. And then next thing, you just say, man, to do this logo, and we have to multiply it across all the words. You say it will cost 900 million. And then they'll now say, for social media, for us to boost it, 100 million. Some people won't go as far. I'm sure Hillary Chukudi, this one Chukudi, I'm sure Ada has been harassing him since that he hasn't bought Jeep. I'm not here being my Igbo brothers, but if they do not buy Jeep, man, they are behind. So man, he has not bought Jeep. You now remember that, okay, I've done this thing. I have to just generally add something else to it. You will now tell Foludo, we'll put more history and, we'll boost it on the social media. After boosting on the social media, we'll go on ground, speak to the chiefs. And in Igbo land, if you're running for office, everywhere you go to consult, you must drop drink. And their drinks are not weak. Remy Martin will cost you about, give or take, 20 something K. You're buying it in the shop, normal shop. If it's a big chief, like, somebody high up, will be off on the shy, kind of like James Hennessy. James Hennessy will set you about $3,000. Wait, am I calling price of drinks? Scrap that part. This class is recorded. So anyway, you will go ahead and, get the drinks, procure the drinks for everybody to go. How do I know? I know a lot of things. So, we have this conversation and these things happen constantly. And, you find yourself in the situation where what they call it, where we are the ones that increase the prices of elections in Nigeria. We make elections more expensive. I can say generally, if I come up to let me use somebody. Abubakar Lawal Abubakar. If I come up to Abubakar Lawal Abubakar, even though me and him are both Lawals, I tell him, guy, I'm running for president. I'll make a good president. You've seen how much I know governance. Abubakar will say, EG, you came to my house with bolts. Zaka, yeah, what? Because EG, I like you, but you are not providing what's necessary. And he will just ignore the ED because so we increase. So when I come back to Abubakar after he has finished treating me like that, next time I come with 6G class, like 10 PAs and etc. Abubakar will be like, Idi, yanzu fara siyasa. I just started elections. I'm like, man, now I know what you are. I know you are ready to run for office. It's G class that is talking, and what they call it. Imagine Isaac Lawalu, something that will be sharing name in government house. You can even enter. Sorry, I say government house. That's all state. You can enter state house and be saying here and the ED are cousins. But before the G class and the PAs, you say kasana halin siyasa ba. Malam, da hannu za ka yi siyasa ne? It's in my hand, I'm going to conduct elections. So why does it matter? These recommendations matter because the understanding of the Electoral Act will strengthen our democracy. To strengthen the kind of conversations we're having is strengthening what we're doing. Secondly, it will empower citizens to vote wisely if we've understood it. And then thirdly, most reduce electoral fraud. It encourages accountability and restores public trust in elections. These are all key to everything working. So if you refuse to look at it, so our final calls in this conversation is simple. Know it, demand it, and defend it. That is first. Secondly, the Electoral Act is your democratic right and protection. It is yours. You do not take on ownership of it. The Electoral Act is not going to stand up and hit Professor, I tweet wrongly. I won't call his name. And Professor, I tweet wrongly is ready to do anything to ensure that Ali Baba and his boys are back in the game. So you need to know it. And then we need to use it to defend a better Nigeria. So thank you, everyone. It's been great discussing the Electoral Act. I'll be open for questions shortly. And I hope that you guys pick up the Electoral Act, which we're giving you guys, and then pay attention to looking at it. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right. Thank you very much, Edie. It's always nice to listen to you again. Especially love the Electoral Act. I know we all have a lot of questions, so you can drop them in the chat box or you can raise your hands and I'll ask you to unmute. So let's do that. If you have any question, please raise your hands. Thank you. All right. Okay. Promise, I've asked you to unmute. You can ask your question now.
Yes, thank you. I'm just curious, like someone has asked in the beginning of the class, like you said, the INEC is independent and then his role is to organize the elections and then do other stuff for the election.
Wait. You guys, are there many girls in this class? Why are you using bedroom voice to talk? Please lift up your voice, I beg.
I'm sorry.
Are you using an earpiece?
Yes, let me remove it.
No, take out the earpiece. Yeah, no, but take out the earpiece. It's really blocking everything.
Can you hear me though?
Clearly. Before Abba, I was thinking, I said, do we have Barry White with a touch of on clear CD?
Oh my God, I'm sorry. So like I was saying, sir, you said they organize the elections and run the processes.
Wait, bro. I didn't say it. You could stop saying I said. It's law. I read it directly from the laws of Nigeria.
From the law,
It's the
sir,
law.
from the
It's not
Electoral
me
Act.
that said it.
I get you now, sir. From the Electoral Act. So, what like the some of the processes they mentioned, like in 2022, 2023, sorry, the beavers and the whole lot of issues. So my question just goes, who holds them responsible? Like, since they're independent, who can control them? Who make the changes? Who maybe when they go wrong now, who can hold them responsible for their actions? Because they can go against their words, like they say they'll do this and then later change to do another thing else, which they are going against the law itself. So I don't know if the law they have is amendable by who and how can you do that?
First and foremost, you are in this class. You're asking me who is going to amend the law. Bros, I should carry Kobuko and flog you. That power is in the legislative now. So I'm going to tell you something. The mistakes in
Okay.
our democracy do not start from INEC. The mistakes in our, you see, when you were doing Gregory top to bottom, some of you were doing serial presidential runner. You know who serial presidential runner is? He has been running since I
Yes,
was
sir.
GS3 till today. I'm sure me and him will run in 2031.
Oh my
Serial
Yeah,
president, you're doing top to bottom.
Atiku.
You carried a Milocon, vote everything, broom. You use broom to sweep everything. When you brought in 63% of the National Assembly have not opened, read the Constitution, the Electoral Act they would have read. So, do you know the quagmire you have? So, the only the checks and balances on INEC are actually vested in the National Assembly. But you guys voted, and then your State House of Assembly, those ones have not even read Constitution, talk less of state law. To even begin to make state laws, there always to be, State House of Assembly, who can talk about anything they've done apart from what governor gives them to pass and they pass budget? What else do state assemblies do?
They do nothing, honestly.
Which was my point. When I was teaching you guys legislative, I made it clear that they are the strongest arm of government. But we have been drunk. I don't know whether Zabata's interviews we have been watching, that we assume that the president has power in democracy. Yes, he does. Nigerian president is one of the most powerful presidents, but he's not as powerful as you think he is.
Representation are the most powerful because they control everything. Like they represent us.
He
so
does
they-
not. There is the pigmentation of what is, then there's what is. Nigeria has left its laws, and I need to make it clear. Nigeria has left its laws, and Nigeria has gone forward to a point that we have created a culture, and culture is defined as the way of life of a people. So we have a culture of irregularities. But here's the conversation. That is not the law of Nigeria. I'm going to tell you clearly. The president does not have power to suspend any governor. It's in your constitution. Go and read it. Does not have the power. They can go and cite Obasanjo suspend. He was wrong too then. He's wrong now. It wasn't any difference. It was wrong. We all
Actually,
the actions.
we don't read.
So here's the conversation. And I was having a conversation, and one of these spokesmen was on TV with me, and we were explaining, and he was saying it was done because of insecurity. And I said, really? Why haven't you suspended Zamfara State Governor, or Borno, or Kwara, or Benue? Just the answer I expected. So here's the conversation. Our laws do not work because first and foremost, can you guys still hear me?
Yes, Didi, we can hear you.
Okay, our laws don't work in Nigeria because first and foremost, and this is most clear, first and foremost, we do not know the law. And the laws in Nigeria are only as strong as the laws anywhere in the world are only as strong as the number of people that know it. Have you noticed that when you challenge an American, you say, I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment rights? What it means. As an American citizen, you cannot coerce them to do anything without a lawyer present. They also have the freedom of expression. All those are backed by the Fifth Amendment. Now, if I ask you on this class, you guys, let's talk about your rights. Where are your rights vested in? No lawyer should answer this. Where are your rights vested in the Constitution? None of you know. Not one of you know. Even some lawyers, they'll just say, I know the law. Which law do you know? How many MBA conferences have I spoken at? Go and sit down. You people is to be registering companies. CAC. No offense to lawyers, but sometimes you people can be, So anyway, back to what I'm saying. If you, as a citizen, don't even know your laws, how do you want to hold somebody accountable? Please. No, somebody in this class should help me answer the question. You don't know the laws, you don't know anything, but yet you want to hold them accountable. Tell me how you are going to achieve it. Somebody has come up, chapter 4. Some people have gone to borrow AI. Don't worry, it's AI that answered it because you gave the exact jurisdiction. I know that you don't know the exact jurisdiction. So back to what I was saying. Somebody should tell me how you plan to hold government accountable without knowing the laws. Let me even tell you, let me even bring it down for you. Even in electoral college, you people do not know your code of conduct, yes or no? Lisa. Is Lisa here? Charlie?
Yes, Didi.
Is Charlie here?
Yes, Didi, I'm here, sir.
Can you spot any of the chairmen in class? Who can spot one of the chairmen in class? If you are a chairman, raise your hand. If you don't raise your hand, I'll punish you more than I'll punish you. This one, I say his chairman is active. Which party are you in? You that said, let's start with that one. He says chairman is active. Charlie, who is that?
We have
Give the person.
Hillary.
No, give the person. Who was the person that said his chairman is active? I want to talk to that person's chairman.
Okay, that
Hillary.
was promise.
Yeah, that's promise. Wait, give promise the mic first before Hillary. Promise.
All right.
I can hear you. I can hear you. He's active. He's been talking to them in the group.
Active doing what? What party are you in?
What party are you in? I'm in APC.
APC? What
Yes,
did you score in the first assignment? You are laughing.
So we scored 40-something points, I guess.
You see, you just embarrass yourself in front of your classmates. Because first and foremost, I did not mark over 40, I mark over 10. So there's no 40. You see the problem, Abi? Even in the electoral college, you cannot even track what they call it. You cannot track accountability. So even if they say let's hold the ED accountable,
Sir, 5. 5.
Well, after you've gone to go and check, Abi.
No, I didn't check that.
This is the point. So imagine if I spoke to Promise now, and I said, Promise, hold the ED accountable. Promise would have said, you scored us 40%. This is too late. Cannot campaign after election. You now say, ED scored us 40%. Is that the reality? Do I score 40%? It buttresses my point. So who is the next? Who is the APC chairman? Let me hear the APC chairman.
I'm the one, sir.
You are the one. Is your name the one? I'm not looking at my phone. I'm using my AirPods, so I'm not even near my phone. So you have to tell me your name.
My name is Ba Elvis Diombir, sir.
Did you see the way your member just disgraced you just now?
To.
You say to. No.
Sorry, sir.
No, I know. You know, because you said to, I know you're a northerner. So,
Thank you, sir. Babu, sir.
Which one is Babu?
I want to give comment on it. That is why I placed that to first.
Okay, wait. Let me explain a thing first. Have you read the Electoral College Code of Conduct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how do we hold chairmen accountable to students attending class?
We the party chairmen or party executive are
careful here. Continue.
We are supposed to inform them of class, call them even when they don't respond to our chats in group, to make sure they come to class. And if they don't come to class, it's not only going to affect them, but it's also going to affect the entire political party.
You didn't mention it affects schools. You skipped that part out.
Okay, I said it's not only going to affect the participant that is inactive, but it's going to affect
the party, the members, and
the members and the executives.
You can say I'm not reading it, Abi.
Yes, sir.
But am I in your class?
No, sir.
No, sir.
I didn't even write the code of conduct. So what you think is me? I didn't write it.
So, but I read it, sir.
APC, you've done your own. Where is ADC chairman? The ADC chairman is not in class today. That ADC, that party Promise is active what? Promise. Sorry. No, I mean ADC chairman. Could I have a conversation with this chairman? I want to do this quickly, please. Last chairman I'll talk to. And I would like to, where is NDC chairperson?
Okay.
Is NDC chairperson? He's not in class. Hello? Miriam, are you there?
Yes, Idi, I'm here.
You said the ADC chairperson is not in class?
I think ADC is here, but I've not seen NDC.
You said?
ADC is here. NDC is...
I want to speak with ADC first, then I'll speak with NDC.
Hillary.
Or unmute the both of them. Unmute the both of them at the same time.
Okay, Idi. Hillary, ADC is unmuted already.
Okay. All right.
Who is saying all right? That's Hillary.
My name is Hillary, ADC channel. Yes.
The guy that is trying to buy Jeep. Abi?
Yes.
That will not be a bad idea.
I say it's not be a bad idea. Don't worry, me and you cruise to where? Where will we go to? Okija? Or we'll go to Afipo? Where will we go to?
No. No.
Hmm?
No.
Anyway,
we are
my brother GCK. But anyway, you're laughing because I'm speaking your language. Okay, so I'm going to ask a question. You're ADC
okay.
chairperson. Why
Yeah.
do you think I gave you -5?
In my own honest opinion, it's not totally clear. Yeah, it's not completely clear because the question
Did you read
is,
the question of the assignment?
I did.
What did I say there? Show the process. Should we they read it for you?
Yes,
I
the
can't
process
edit
through
it
which.
now. So what does show the process in which? Is it WhatsApp that is the process?
Okay.
Who did? Nobody stated. And we're doing this so that because we're learning. You didn't show the process earlier with transitional committees. And I marked you guys down and I told you guys why. Then the next one, you do it and then you don't show the process at all. How do you want me to mark you if I were you?
Okay, can you kindly define what show the process is?
What is the process of?
Maybe we didn't
What
get
is?
it
Let me ask you a question. What is the process in which? Walk me through the process of an election. Walk me. What happens first? Primaries, right?
Yes, in the primary.
Primary. Yes. What type of
Yeah.
primaries? The process will be what type of primaries are used. Don't you think so?
We did that. It was captured in one of the first few lines of that.
Which primaries did you use?
Yes.
Which one did you use? Indirect or consensus?
Direct primaries.
It was not stated in your assignment, okay?
It was clearly stated on the assignment, huh?
Okay, then please, if I missed it, okay, this is no argument. This is no argument. If I missed it, I'll correct it. If I did not miss it, I'll mark you down more than you already said. Are you ready to take that?
Yes.
This is not arguments. It's simple. Because I didn't see it. So if I made an error, I'll own up to the error and I'll mark you up. If I did not see it, you first for saying something that I did not see that was not there actually, I'll punish you. Accepted?
Accepted.
Then we roll. Beautiful. Who is the next party chairman? NDC.
Yeah, I can't unmute. Brian, you can speak now.
How did I pick party chairman when I was discussing things? I don't know them.
I can. Are you there?
I'm actually. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a direct question. The NDC did well in this assignment.
Yes,
are you proud?
Yes.
Are you proud?
Yeah, I'm very proud.
Do you think you'll do well in next assignment?
Yeah, 100%. I'm very sure.
Okay. So I'm going to, we're talking about reading Nigeria's laws. I will cascade it down to Electoral College. I'll be honest. The only reason I wanted to speak to you was to commend you on how well you did with your assignment.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're actually set. I'm not saying it's perfect, but you made me know at least we are teaching a set of people. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll go back to the class now. Thank you, everyone.
All right, Edie, I've asked Ibrahim to unmute so that he can ask his question. Ibrahim, are you there? All right, so I think Ibrahim is not available. Peter, I've asked you to unmute. You can ask your question now.
Hi, Peter. Are you there?
Rube Sunday. Okay.
Good evening, Good evening, Edie. Thank you so much for the lecture. My question is this: I want to know if it's included or enacted in the electoral law that, according to the lecture of today, that if the president, for instance, spend more than the stipulated amount, like 10 billion, if I'm still right,
They are
is
going to
there
spend more than that.
any way? Okay, well, the amount stated by the law. If they spend more than that, what is the process of determining how will they know? And also, is there a punishment for any candidate, any party candidate? That's my
Well,
question. I want to know.
the National Assembly, in its immaculate wisdom, first did not give anybody jurisdictional provision on how to, where to, or anybody jurisdictional provision to enforce that law. Now, not only did they not give, if you are calculating for somebody and you carry the case to court, they will question any authority on whether they have the exact jurisdiction to handle it. So it's hard holding accountable. So the laws are there, but they need to be modified to pick an agency that actually follows that. Then secondly, be able to enforce. And then there should be punishable items for breaking it. But there's none. It just states amounts and stops.
All right. Thank you, Edie. Ruth, I've asked you to unmute. You can ask your question now.
Yeah, thank you, Edie, for the privilege. My question is, you said there's a punishment or an offense for whoever bribed someone or who was
I did
bribed.
not. You people should stop saying. I quoted the Electoral Act. You are saying I said. Is it me? Is it me that wrote it? Not
Sorry,
me
sir,
now.
it's in the law, based on the law, that there's an offense, we can sue them. Then now, who's going to punish them? That's what I want to know. The
Right
person that
now,
bribed, the person that was bribed, who's going to
right
punish them?
now,
Who has
right
put them
now,
to punishment?
right now, INEC is the one taking that power because it's not stated who actually inflicts the punishment. So it's now within INEC's jurisdiction.
Okay, sir. So now, if let's assume a participant now, I was bribed and I want the person to be punished, how will I go about to require that? So the person that gave me the money can be punished.
Maybe you have to you submit evidence to INEC and to be left to INEC. Or like in cases where it has worked, people sued the people involved directly and involved INEC on the suit. So INEC had to come out and choose, and the court had to choose what exactly was done. So
Okay,
I can't really say. Some people are punished for it, but very few, minimal to the number of people that attempt it.
okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, Elvis, I've asked you to unmute. You can ask your question now. Elvis, are you there? Okay, we're going to take Timothy.
Yes, ma. Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Edie, thank you for the class. I want to ask a question. According to the Electoral Act, Section 119, who states any person who forges a voter's card or electoral document commits an offense. So I don't know. Like from our local communities, people are novice. They are not educated. They don't know anything. So they may misplace their voter's card. When INEC deploy people to come around for voters registration, they don't normally allow or they don't normally accept capturing people that misplace or damage their voters card, their PVC. So these people are rather advised to enroll for new voters registration. Later on, it will display that they are having more than 1 or 2 voters card in the INEC database. So with this situation that they don't know about it, is it punishable before the law or is not punishable before
No,
the
it's
law?
not punishable because they met INEC and reported that this is an anomaly on INEC. It's INEC's inefficiency you are talking about, not punishable by law. Because something can happen, it can get lost or damaged. So it means I can't go back to INEC and now disenfranchise myself. It doesn't make sense.
Yes, because I think from the recent voters registration that INEC deployed people to communities, I was one of the volunteers in a team. So there are people who came and from the INEC database, they were having up to 4 or 5 different voters cards. So the INEC official that was sent to the local government retrieved the present voters card they were having. Though those voters card beavers don't read them during election. These people complain they don't cast vote. So there was no rectification at the end of the day. The person, because people were complaining much, he tried telling them it was an offense before the INEC and it is punishable. All sort of it, and that's why they wanted to understand about it.
Okay, sir. No problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Timothy, I've asked you to unmute. You can ask your question.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Shidi. Yeah, my question is still about electoral offenses and how to deal with the electoral offenders. So, Edie, please, is there any way we can ensure INEC enforce the law and prosecute the electoral offenders? My question is related to, especially when it comes to this vote buying. You know, the last
You cannot.
APC
Do you know why? Do you know why you can't?
Yes, sir.
Simple. The law is
Yes, sir.
incomplete. Like I stated, it does not, and you need to mark this, it does not enforce any particular authority, the power to deal with such matters. So if you carry the matter to court and the person has a lot of money, these lawyers are going to argue no jurisdiction for whoever is forcing it. And they'll get off with just a small fine of 1 million or 500K. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, thank you.
So
sir.
we need to adjust those laws to get an enforceable agency that can enforce and jail.
All right, thank you very much, Edie. There are some questions in the chat box.
Yes, there's one that took my particular interest. The one on local government elections. And I need to clarify. Right. Maybe I was saying it playfully. And, sometimes lawyers, you have to speak English before they get what you're saying. If I'm right, section 119 in the Constitution. I'm not sure whether it's 119. Please, if it's not 119, don't kill me. I'm talking from my head. So I think section 119 allows for states to conduct elections. But here's the conversation, and here's the contradiction in what I'm saying. Everybody who is a lawyer, everybody who understands, the Electoral Act is the holy book of conducting elections. Local government elections is an election. So why is it the first thing in the Electoral Act is that INEC supervises, organizes, and maintains all elections? You know what that clearly means. So it's how do I put it? It's yet to be judged. It's a lacuna, 2 ends. Do you understand? The Electoral Act being the holy book of elections, directly based on elections, but yet section 119 of the Constitution empowers states to conduct elections. And then also create state electoral commissions. So that's section 119 of the Constitution itself. I'm not talking of the Constitution. That's section 119 when I talk of Constitution. And when I'm talking of this is section 1 of the Electoral Act. So it's a massive anomaly. What is the guideline and law for conducting election give INEC full powers over all elections? Then a part of the Constitution still states that states can conduct local government election. We're running 2 parallel governments with that. That was my point.
All right, Edie. So Afis Bello is also asking in the chat box, is it possible for this kind of course to be introduced in schools? Passing it into law won't be bad, so that it won't be too late for people to get the information. But I think, personally, I believe many people would love to know these things, but most are fighting for their life, and those that defended the cause were beaten without judgment.
You haven't even started fighting for your life. Don't say you say you're fighting for your life. Let impunity take over. Let's see. You've played around political illiteracy for so long, and that is the result. That's why you're fighting for your life. So if you want to keep fighting for your life and not realizing that the real fight is here. So this is the problem with Nigeria. Most people, it's for me, and it's a defeatist position. You say you are fighting for your life and you are beaten or you are fighting for your life. Nothing good in this world or adjusting a society has come free. Nigerians are the only country that want to eat jollof rice and want to have a working government at the same time. It's not possible. Never been done in the UK, Sweden, Russia, America, Rwanda, wherever. It's never been done. So if we do not stand up and have these arguments, if we do not stand up and have these conversations, whether we are tired, we are hungry, or whatever, do you think that when laws were... Come, I'm going to tell you, has anybody in this class heard of a guy named Guy Fawkes? Hello? Has anybody heard of Guy Fawkes? Well, please Google Guy Fawkes. Guyfawkes, if I'm right. Google Guy Fawkes. It's not Fokes. Fawkes.
The anonymous look, the man behind the mask for the anonymous.
Who is talking? Fawkes is Fawkes. I've said that.
Yes. Can I read it out, Edie?
Yes, please do.
All right, Guy Fawkes, also known as Guido Fawkes, while fighting for the Spanish, was a member of the group of provincial English Catholic involved in failed gunpowder plots.
To bomb what? To bomb what?
Gunpowder plots of 1600. He was born at...
Yes. To bomb what? What was he trying to bomb?
Okay,
It should be written there. It's the English Parliament.
Okay. It was not written in this.
It was not written there? Do I know more history than Google?
No, it's Wikipedia.
Oh, that's problem. Don't go to Wikipedia.
Okay. Okay, he was trying. He attempted to blow up the parliament and assassinate.
You said how many people are talking?
Okay, sorry.
What's going on?
He attempted to blow up the parliament and assassinate James I and VI of England.
James I, King then. That was
yes,
King
and VI of England.
Does it state any changes that were done after that? After he was killed, though. But does it state any changes done after that?
Okay. No, let me search for changes made after that.
If I remember the day he tried to bomb, it was November 5, sometime in 1600. Am I right? November 5, is it correct? His date number?
Yes, 1605.
Man, you should buy the drink from my head. You should buy the drink. Anyway, so Guy Fawkes was someone who disagreed with the way laws were being handled. It was early parliamentary system. He tried to bomb this thing. There's been 1 or 2 films done about it. There's a film done about it, and I think you guys should see it. It's one of the deepest films I love. It's known as V for Vendetta. I think it was by Hugo Weaving. Hugo Weaving was the guy that acted, that was the guy, Agent Smith in Matrix. That's Hugo Weaving. And Hugo Weaving was there. It was produced by the Wachowski brothers. That's the same guys who produced Matrix. The Wachowski brothers, though one is a sister now. He's changed his gender. But that's not the point. It was produced by... If you watch that movie, you'd understand though it was set to for that time, they didn't shoot it like it was done in 16-something. They went ahead in time and they did it. And, it was because the parliament had so much powers. And I'll explain. Parliament had so much power. And, it was backed by the king. The king had more powers then, even on decisions within the parliament. And in the end, the guy attempted to tried to kill the King of England, And I didn't say no anybody should go and kill president of Nigeria. Please, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you what happened in history. So, and I'm trying to point out that it's only strife that has brought better. I'll tell you, the laws of England were massively adjusted post that. Powers of the king were reduced. Powers of parliamentarians were also restructured. And that was what Guy Fawkes gained, though he was killed. But in the end, the English Parliament became better for it. So what I'm just trying to point out is that there's a cost for changing things. There's a cost for redirecting things. It doesn't mean that was 1600. The only thing they thought about was bombing. It doesn't have to bomb. Now you can bomb intellectually. Do you understand? You can fight the game intellectually. Many people chose, okay, I would run into office, which is valid. I'll run for office and fix the system. They haven't done that, even though few of them entered. Some others said they were going to join the civic space. Some people started buying latest Honda Accord. Some have kept on doing the work within the civic space and have suffered and have not shown for it. But there's some education that's going on and there's some things that have changed because of their work. So I use the Guy Fawkes reason because change comes at a cost. And that's the truth. And we need to understand that critically.
All right. Thank you very much, Edie.
Messi. I dropped the title of the film. I'll say it again. The title of the film is V for Vendetta.
Okay.
V for Vendetta. I think they took it off. Was it on Amazon Prime or was on Netflix? It used to be there. It's quite an old movie. Not old, but I think 2000s. It's quite a very intellectual movie. V for Vendetta. I'll tell you that there's no movie I've watched, and trust me, I've watched movies. I don't watch rubbish. I've watched movies. There's no movie with the conversation in that movie. No movie that I've watched. It has the highest level of conversation ever. I'm sure that's why it didn't do well in Nigeria.
All right, Tidi. Thank you very much. So another question from Ayuba Timothy Destiny, that's in the chat box. Thank you, sir, for these lectures. Every day with the Electoral College and increase in knowledge, sir. Sir, for years, I've served as an agent at the polling unit, and I've always win and make sure I accompany my polling unit results to the ward collation center. It will be evident that my party wins. Yes, yet another party will be declared winner. Does it mean what is sent through Beavers is not considered?
It is considered, but the magic always happens in collation centers. Have you guys done results and collations yet? Have they done results and collations yet?
No, Edie.
Okay. So when you do results and collations, all these conversations, this answer will be the person who's the facilitator has worked for INEC for 11, 12 years, and then has worked within the civic space for another 3, 4 years. So she has a massive experience from seeing from observer and from seeing from operational listening. She'll be in the best position to tell you what happens within elections. She's great at it. So be patient. Results and collation is a topic you'll do, and should answer that clearly.
All right, thank you. The Messi Kwabe, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening, Messi.
Okay, good evening, Edie. So my question is about the electronic transmission. And if you remember earlier this year, the Senate and the House of Reps went back and forth that they had to now even set up a committee to sort of like consolidate both because they had different acts. And one of the key issues was the electronic transmission, right? It was like a very, very major one because even in the public hearing, it was a major issue. I mean, there were two major issues.
No. Messi, do you know what they were actually arguing about? Electronic transmission is permitted. We wanted to make it mandatory.
Yes. So that's where my question is coming to, sir, because there were so many things I saw in the process of this Electoral Act. Like there was a time that they were trying to push for prisoner voting, and I found that absurd, but I'm just going to keep that somewhere else.
Why would it be absurd? Are they not citizens of Nigeria? Let me ask you a direct question. Are they not citizens for Nigeria? Let me tell you something. Wait, Mercy, slow down. When we're trying to learn from each other, small, do you understand? Slow down. We are not in WrestleMania 10. To slow down. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of Reverend King?
I know the one that killed his people.
Yes, beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That one.
Mm.
Do you know why Reverend King is still alive? He hasn't been executed. Do you know why he's still alive?
No.
Okay. Class, we're going to take you down memory lane. Reverend King has attempted to run for president not once, not twice. He has run for constant political positions while in prison. Do you know what the law of the Electoral Act says about a candidate? Candidate cannot be prosecuted, killed, or whatever pending this thing. So it has been postponing his killing date. So if a prisoner can run for office, not a prisoner, a condemned felon can run for office, what stops them from voting? That's the question I'm going to ask you.
I have a question back, sir. How is he
Messi,
running?
Messi, don't answer a question with a question.
Okay. So, because I'm wondering how he's running for office, because I know he has to run under a party. There's no room for independent candidacy. That's the question I wanted to ask. How is he running? Under what party?
He picked funny parties. You can Google it now.
Okay. So that's not even my major question. I just brought up by the visa.
But I just trumped.
Yes.
Wait, Messi, you need to understand. I just trumped your prisoner conversation into the bush. Because if someone in prison can run for office, if someone in prison can run for office, then what stops another from voting?
Yeah. I get.
Because running for office is not even a problem. Wait. Do you know how many people have won campaigns from prison? See me, now my brain is picking up. And a senator won campaign from prison now. I think somebody also won governor from prison. Yes, now Google it now.
Yes, and even people that EFCC is holding out, they're
holding up. Yes, they've won. And what happened?
Yes.
The moment they won it, immunity.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask my question, because my question is mainly on, so the way they were able to resolve that, as I understand it, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is that, they stated that electronic transmission, right, must be done at each polling unit, but the language that was used there is that
No.
requirement.
Yes, it's a statutory requirement.
Yes.
And INEC still has the jurisdiction to make the choice on whether to accept.
Which brings me to my question now, because my question is now, how do we kind of force their hand that they first try the electronic? Because I feel like that's what a lot of what we're going to
I've told you people.
In this electoral
I've said it multiple times. When you people were voting top to bottom, Gregory, Syria Runner, Ali Baba and Ali T and the 40 Thieves, when you were doing all of them, you didn't realize who you were putting into the National Assembly. This National Assembly, which happens to be the 10th, happens to be the dumbest National Assembly in Nigeria's entire history. And let me tell you one thing, they're going to continue being dumb. So, in 2027, let me advise you, before someone tells you he's running for House of Rep or Senate, before you vote him, think. Let me explain how, I've said this during legislative class, and I'll say it again to enforce this. You have mortgaged your responsibility as a citizen to your House of Rep and your senator to make decisions in Nigeria for you. You didn't mortgage that to the president. You mortgaged it to the National Assembly. Note that representation is the only word used with National Assembly. Have you heard representation ever used with the executive? Mercy.
No.
Oh, why? Because they don't represent you. They represent an office. They don't represent you. So, as a Nigerian and a smart girl, Mercy, if you keep making the mistake of somebody is young, oh, she's nice. Oh, we need more women, special seats, more gays that look like DSTV in the National Assembly, no impute. You are going to have a problem. And you're going to continue with your problem. So, like I always say, governance does not have gender, it does not have tribe, it does not have religion. Vote the person who can actually deliver the laws that that represent your position as a Nigerian. That is the conversation. You cannot hold them accountable. You mortgage that. Let me ask you a question. Did they not change your national anthem without consulting you? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Messi, did anybody consult you?
No.
Okay. So when you are mortgaging those
They didn't even go
responsibilities,
through the normal processes, the normal legislative
they
process.
don't need to. What you don't understand about legislators is that they have the power to choose to go via a referendum, or they have the power to choose to directly vote because they are called representatives. Please understand that. I don't know who taught Nigerians that accountable, hold accountable. There's some people you cannot really hold accountable, and that's legislature. Let me be honest with you. To remove them is a problem. It's easier to remove executive now. Just convince the National Assembly. President is gone today. Today. They can even arrest him, join. Governor, the same. They have the power. But you see those legislators, if you are not... So for me, I'd rather teach people. You see who you elect as National Assembly is more important, or as State House of Assembly is more important. You laughing, hey, Dino got it. FMI Gbajabila has dealt with Dino. Ha. Who replaced Dino there? Who?
Okay, sir. I do have
let's do it.
question.
Let me state this. Dino's IQ is, let's say, 5, and then you replace him with somebody whose IQ is 2. Not Dino, sorry. I wanted to say Desmond. Sorry. Desmond. So go ahead.
Yes, sir. So my second question is about if at any point it states in the Electoral Act, like the timeline INEC has to like deregister a party, because I'm asking this question because of the current conversations that have been happening with ADC and NDC. So is there a timeline, or can INEC at any point, do they have that power?
So that is a delicate question to ask. And I'll tell you why. INEC already has a problem. And I can tell you from what I know, ADC will not be registered before the elections, in my opinion. And neither will NDC. And I'll tell you why. INEC made a foremost problem. You see, they were registered parties, and INEC allowed them world congresses, local government districts, which means INEC has accepted that they are registered and they are flowing through the matter. If there's any deregistration that is going to happen to ADC and NDC, it will be after the 2027 elections. Because they've started the process. What explanation are you going to see? Because you're now seizing, and this is the argument, and I'm sure when it reaches the Supreme Court, this is the argument. It will not be about NDC and ADC. It's the people that have bought forms, won primaries, done things. You are now seizing their freedom of expression and their rights through freedom of association, which is wrong. That's where the argument is going to come from. And watch it. It's probably where the argument comes from.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Edie. We have 2 more hands up. Yusuf, I've asked you to unmute. You can go ahead now.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. From the beginning of your teaching, I think I heard something that you quote from the Electoral Act that the local government election supposed to be conducted based on the law enacted by the National Assembly.
I have clarified that.
The Electoral Act.
I have clarified that. Is it that you guys know I've clarified that. I've clarified it. I've said it. Have I not, Miriam? I have now.
Yes, that was the first question you addressed in the chat box.
So, what do you address? Because I didn't think I heard
Go
it.
back, go and watch the YouTube. It will be there. I'll be taking people's time if I decide to go back and repeat the same thing because of one person.
Okay.
All right. Timothy, I've asked you to unmute. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you, Hidi. Yeah, I want to ask, it's more of your opinion now. First, there are some political associations who are still in court contesting, questioning why INEC has not recognized them. So imagine they eventually win
What INEC has not
the
recognized
court?
them? They are no. Access codes were given to everybody to submit their candidates' names. I'm aware of that. So why would you use the word INEC has not recognized them?
No, sir, what I'm saying, as in some political associations who wanted to be recognized, who wanted to be registered as a political party.
Well,
Are you with me, sir?
that jurisdiction is left entirely to INEC. INEC is in control of who they register as a political party or not. That jurisdiction, that power lies with them.
Sir, this is what I'm saying. They are still in court. Imagine they eventually win at the court, those associations.
They
So
will
now
join
asking, is it
after. They
possible
will
for
join after. No, they will join after 2027 elections. That's what will happen.
Okay. The second thing, sir, is over the time there were some deliberation about allowing the prison inmates to be voting. Though they have not done anything about it, they are still debating it. So I want to seek your opinion. What do you see to that? Do you
Wait,
see that
did
as
I
a
not
way of
just answer?
development?
Did I not just answer this with Mercy? I just
Yes.
did now. Is it that you guys don't listen? You want me to be repeating myself constantly? Just answer this now. And I stated clearly. I stated clearly. How many people in the chat box have even written names of people? I was thinking it was Ekiti. It was actually Oshun.
Yes,
and then somebody has
did.
even written about Abia. And then so here's the conversation. If somebody in this thing has run, why can't if somebody in prison can run? Why can't somebody in prison vote? Is running not even a more dangerous matter than voting?
Exactly.
So it's simple now.
All right. That is all the questions we have for today, Edie. Thank you very much for answering the questions and for lecturing us. It's always a pleasure listening to you.
I don't have my drink.
Oh, Edie, don't worry. We'll do something about that later. So thank you very much once again. We really appreciate you. We've learned a lot about the days, the period of election, the period to release the candidate list, and honestly, it has been really enlightening. I believe that everybody has been left with something to go and read further about Electoral Act specifically, and to make their own research and to even, rethink what they think about the electoral process of Nigeria. So thank you very much. So without further ado, I'd like for everyone to please say, to thank Edie. So you can all unmute, and that will be all. There is no announcement for you guys. So you can all
Thank you
unmute
so
and
much.
thank Edie.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much, Edie.
Interesting to listen to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.